I don't think I have a bare minimum experience. Below minimum have.
Below.
Like what?
Cannot even smile when they see you.
Huh?
Very sad leh.
Then
While
don't
you're
want lah,
in a
don't want lah.
relationship?
Yeah.
That's quite bad. Who ah?
Who else?
Hi, Cecil.
Hey, Azura.
And I'm Germaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clarity's Hush Podcast.
I'm someone who tends to romanticize life a lot.
Yes, you are.
Do you know what that is? It's like, when a guy does something for me, like when he opens the door for me. I told you guys this before. When I was 14 and a guy opened the door for me.
She fell in love.
I fell in love, leh. And I loved this guy for like 1 year.
Why?
But apparently some people would now scold me and say, how can you reward the bare minimum?
Like it's his job to open the door for a girl.
It's what's expected of like a gentleman, or that's what they say, right? And I think I
Yes.
tend to romanticize it a bit too much.
But here's what I think. This is what the movies have been teaching us, right? Dramas have been teaching us. But when it comes to like actual life, how many people actually open the doors for
I
women?
fight with someone before leh.
Why?
For not opening the door for you?
No. Because the person was like, you can't expect reality to be like the movies. And I was like, why not?
Azura delusional Goh. That's what we call her.
No, but actually though, like, okay, I'm not saying like, run to each other in the rain or whatever. But certain things, I don't think they're wrong for you to want them.
Okay, so this is exactly what we're going to discuss today, okay?
Yes.
What is the Lulu in this society?
Is it the Salulu?
Yeah, are we expecting too much or are we just barely hitting the bare minimum?
Absolutely. So this idea of a bare minimum relationship, right? Or actions that are the bare minimum, what does that mean to you girls?
Barely showing up, only doing like what's minimally expected of this person, not going past this mark to deliver something more.
Not going the extra mile.
Correct.
To show love, to
Correct.
show care, concern, appreciation.
So the bare minimum is this spot where this person doesn't do anything that causes a breakup.
yeah. It's not like they cheat on you.
Yeah, correct.
Or they hit you.
So you have
or
no reason
something.
to leave, but do you have any reason to stay? Actually,
Oh.
bare
So,
minimum.
There's this therapist, her name is Isra Nasir. She
Okay.
says a bare minimum relationship signifies the lack of effort,
Okay.
emotional investment, or commitment in the relationship. And your partner is just doing enough to say, I did it, what? There's nothing wrong. I did it. I was a boyfriend. But like Hazy said, what's making you stay?
Yep.
Right?
Sometimes people cite examples of bare minimum, like opening doors, like what else?
If it's the bare minimum, you should be able to come up with some examples quick.
Correct. Replying to you whenever they can.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Calling you ever so often.
Good morning text.
Yes,
Just
things
very
like
simple
that, right?
things.
I
Yeah.
think when people cite these examples, some people are not too happy because they think, oh, you're being superficial, you're being demanding, you're asking for all these things. But I think what someone is trying to say, they're trying to articulate what they can in theory, and that's why it's being given as these examples. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let me give you an example for myself, right? It's not about the actions, you know what I mean? Like, if you made up for it in some other way, I don't care whether you open door or not. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I think I saw this thing very recently and I agreed with it, which was, I think you want a love that loves you when it's inconvenient and not just when it's convenient.
True. Yeah. So have you girls ever, right, been in a relationship, then after a while it kind of gets stagnant and then you're like, hey, is he just doing the bare minimum?
Would you say that doing the bare minimum is almost similar to breadcrumbing, where they're just giving you enough to keep you around?
That's an interesting thought. Perhaps it's something
Similar?
like that. Yeah.
I think it's similar.
It might not even be like a relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend. It could just be someone that you're interested in and they are just doing the bare minimum to, keep you interested.
Yeah, like situationships. I
Yeah.
feel like a
Yeah.
lot of situationships are like bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
And then that's why they don't make it to the next phase, right? I would like to think that thankfully in my recent relationships, I've never experienced one that is like the bare minimum.
Actually, me too.
Yeah, I think because we just keep picking people that are more and more right for us as time passes by.
Yeah.
So thankfully,
I don't think I have a bare minimum experience. Below minimum have.
Below.
like what?
Negative
Below
effort.
minimum is like, cannot even smile when they see you. Got so miserable or not? Very sad leh.
Then
While
don't
you're
want lah,
in a
don't want lah.
relationship.
Yeah!
I don't understand.
Walao!
That's quite bad. Who ah?
Who else?
That's quite bad. Yeah. I mean, at that point, you already know it's a no-go. It's the bare minimum when it's like, yeah,
Actually got nothing wrong.
yeah, got nothing wrong. When do you say, you know what, I'm going to cut this off and find something better? It's very hard. There's nothing to tell you, like, it's
And-
time to end it.
Especially for a lot of people, right? When it's past the dating phase, you're into like the marriage phase.
Oh my gosh.
It's even harder to cut all ties and go back, right? And say no. I have a friend, she used to date someone who would like game all the time. They cohabitate, but there's no connection. Like when they go home, they just each on their phones. They don't talk. When they eat together, they're still scrolling their phones. And I think this is a relationship that is even lower than the bare minimum, don't you think?
It makes you think, do you genuinely enjoy each other or do you just not want to be lonely?
I think that's a great
Yeah.
example that you brought up, right? If you're thinking now and you're reflecting on your own relationship and you're saying to yourself, is this bare minimum? Some of the signs would be, when was your last date night? Do you remember? There's no planning. There's no effort to like treat each other, take each other out on dates. There's no emotional support. Like you guys don't talk to each other when you're upset. You talk to your friends or you talk to other people.
Hey, that's a huge beige flag, I would say.
Beige
Like,
flag. Oh.
There is no wrong in talking to your friends,
Yeah.
but you also
Yes.
have to speak to your partner about
That's
it.
true.
Correct.
Or you just don't ever fight at all. You just completely avoid conflict because you
Wow.
don't want to have difficult conversations.
Right.
Tough conversations are a must.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if the person is not showing interest in your life, your hobby, your jobs, your
Yeah.
friends, I think that's also a red flag.
That's true. Yeah. I have a friend who, towards the end of their relationship, was doing very well in like career wise, right?
Uh-huh.
And would go and tell the partner, like, you know, I got this job, I got this. And the partner was very disinterested.
Or
and
because
was
he's jealous?
something like that, I guess, of this person, you know, being more in the spotlight, getting more attention. And the partner just could not be happy for my friend.
I don't get that. Like, I just don't get
No,
that.
but that comes from inner hurt. It comes from inner like trauma. It doesn't come from, you know, wanting to be a bad person.
It's a self-projection.
Yeah, it's a self-projection. Exactly. So all these are, I think, signs of a
Correct.
bare minimum relationship.
Speaking of that example, I have a friend in the industry as well. She's once shared with me that she told her partner, like, you know, how much she earns and she's getting better and better, right? Her partner had actually said, what can I do to better myself so that I can be on par with you? No, I think that's a healthy way of looking at it. Maybe by thinking that you can't actually start earning more income, but by thinking that you can actually start taking steps
Yeah.
to actualize that, right?
Yeah. It's like I'm happy for you and I'm inspired by you
Yeah,
and I want to work as hard as you do too. That's what it sounds like to me.
correct. The ego does not stop him,
Yeah.
you know, as a male to recognize that the woman is doing better than him and he wants to do better.
I saw this video recently and it said that if someone told you, oh, you're just like your partner, would that make you feel offended or would that make you feel proud of the person that they are?
Wow.
Huh?
If you feel
Interesting.
offended, then maybe it's a sign that this partner really isn't for
Correct.
you.
Yeah.
But if you feel proud, then it's like, hey, you
If
found the
someone
right person.
says that you're like that person, how would that
Oh.
make you feel?
Good.
This is a very interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Have you girls heard of the orange peel theory?
I think it's stupid.
You think
What's the
so?
orange peel
stupid.
theory?
Okay, let me explain. So,
Yeah.
is this trend on TikTok whereby this wife got her husband to peel an orange for her, and the husband willingly did so. By doing that, it proves that the husband loves her.
It's like
That's bare minimum.
No, it's like a test. No, okay, I don't think it's the bare minimum. Some people just don't like to get their hands dirty and peel like prawns, peel oranges. I think it's fine. But why are you testing your partner with an orange?
No, because you can jolly well do so yourself.
Uh-huh.
And your partner knows that. But by doing it for you, he's saving you the inconvenience and that's why it shows that he loves you. That's the point of this theory lah.
Okay, well, I think there are other more relevant ways to, you know, see if your partner really loves you.
Okay, tell us one. We trend it.
No,
Like what?
just in your everyday life, right? Do they plan dates? Like, you know, do they take the initiative to, you know, treat you well? Like, what is your love language? Do they pander to that? Do you communicate about that? Just things like that. But an orange, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I get the logic. If you do give them an orange and you say, can you please peel this for me? They should say yes lah.
And if they
I
peeled it
get
for
it.
you, a lot of girls see this as a sign of, oh, this person is so sweet. this was actually what happened in the comment section. A lot of comments started coming in praising the man, saying, oh, where do I find a husband like that?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And then this went viral because a lot of other comments were like flaming these comments for
Because
complimenting
this is
the
bare
man.
minimum.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll tell you why I think it's bare minimum. Because it's things like that, right? That let's say we're not talking about things that you don't want to do, but if it's a simple thing that costs you nothing, but your partner wants it, I think it should be quite easy for you to do it.
So
or you
this
should
is-
want to do it, you
This
know?
is where when I was, trying to absorb this whole episode today, right, that I really need to put my foot down. I think that even though it's a very easy thing for your partner to do, it doesn't hurt to show them appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Even though it's expected of you, it doesn't hurt to show them love and say thank you. For example, right, at your job, what you're doing right now is your job. But if your boss every day look at you, right, and just, this is your job, what? I shouldn't thank you. Why should I show you appreciation? That sucks, eh? That
Yeah.
feeling just sucks.
Yeah.
So same, even more so with a relationship. Even though it's simple things like peeling prawns, opening the door, hold your bag for you, just show appreciation, even if it's the bare minimum. You know?
I agree. I will
Yeah.
always want to say thank you
Yeah.
and not take
Yeah.
it for granted because you never know, some guys out there who never do it, but your partner would.
Yeah.
And I saw this interview where Katy Perry said that her love language is her partner doing the dishes.
Because she really hates it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if she could find a partner who would do her dishes, she said this sentence, just do the fucking dishes, I will suck your dick. And like the comments came in like, whoa.
I think a lot of people will do her dishes for her. If that's the case.
Actually, one comment said, I want to do the dishes, nothing happened.
I mean, some people kind of didn't really like that she said that. They
Yep.
just felt that, why are you offering up your body for someone doing the dishes for you?
But maybe she just feels like it's a very sweet gesture of a partner to do so.
Yeah. Good for Orlando Bloom. I mean, like,
I think what goes behind that is that you just want to make things a little bit easier for your partner. Like if I don't mind doing it and if you hate it to the core of, I do lah. You know? Yeah.
I think I would love to see, right? I mean, if you're listening right now to Hush, what are your experiences of a bare minimum relationship? There's this one that we saw on Reddit. Basically, a girl was she's doing work from home and she's
Okay.
on a Zoom call and her husband brought her a cup of coffee.
Okay.
And then her colleagues were like, oh my God, like he loves you so much. Like, wow, you got him whipped and stuff like that. And then she was like, but it's just a cup of coffee. Okay, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think it's sweet.
I think it's super sweet.
I think it's the thought that you're working. I think you might need something. Yeah, so for me, it's not the action,
Yeah.
but it's the thought behind that.
But is it the bare minimum?
I don't know about this because roles reverse. Would you do the same for the partner? Like, would you think about, hey, he's on a meeting now, let me get him a cup of coffee? Sometimes it doesn't come so naturally to us. You know,
Everyone's
especially when
different,
we're so busy.
right? Yeah, everyone's different.
Yeah, the fact that he
Yeah.
thought about that, I think that's super sweet.
I think it's very sweet.
I think it's slightly above the bare minimum. I think
It's sweet. I
we
think it's
can't
sweet.
expect this from every man, you know.
I appreciate the thought.
Uh-huh.
You know, any action, I don't care what the action is.
Are we delulu? How?
But in this day and age, sometimes I find it really rare leh.
Talking about this coffee thing, right? I saw this video of this couple who were at the guy's parents' house. So the father was there, and then she was sitting there, and then he had come back, I think. And then she said, "Can you get me water?" It was a prank. So he said, "No, go get it yourself." And his father went mad. Like, just go and get it for her. Like, what on earth are you on about? And he was like, "No, you are standing right there. Go get it yourself."
Sorry, they're trying to prank the father?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Like, who's being pranked here?
Yeah.
Yes. And I think, correct lah. Like,
Yeah.
you know, even if that person was standing, for example, but if someone asks you for something so simple, there's no harm in doing it. And I think when you find it a chore to do it, you've got some questions to ask.
But what if this partner keeps wanting the other half to do something simple? Every day, she's like, can you please get me a cup of water? Can you please bring me my phone? Can you please do this, do that? I mean, at one point, also will be sian ma, right?
I agree.
I don't think so.
Really?
Why? If you love the person,
Because my brother used to ask me to take things for him.
That's your
every
brother
day.
lah.
This is a
And
personal
it's very
projection.
annoying.
Okay, I'll give you guys some examples.
Okay.
And then you say like, Che, that's bare minimum. Or no, that's kind of sweet.
Okay.
So this person on Reddit said, this person's obviously gay, and said that, I always hear my straight friends hyping up the most basic shit that their boyfriends do for them.
Okay, like what?
Like, for example, he brought me a glass of water when I said I was thirsty. Yeah, okay, if I were to break that down and dissect it, I said I was thirsty. I didn't say, can you bring me a glass of water? He inferred from the fact that I'm thirsty to bring me a
Exactly.
glass of water. That's critical thinking.
No, that's bare minimum.
That's
because
critical
now that you've
thinking.
broke it down like that, have they been so disappointing that when they're able to think critically,
Oh.
we think it's incredible?
No, I beg to differ. I think it's sweet. Because if my other half had told me, hey, I'm so thirsty right now, would I have said, oh, then go drink some water and continue doing my work? Or would I have gotten him a glass of water?
I'll either get it or say, you want water? Then I'm going to take it.
Oh yeah, but must ask. Right? But he didn't ask.
This
he
is
brought
called
it right to you.
automatic.
Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes, right, I cross-check with, by replacing it with a friend. For example,
Okay.
if I said I was thirsty, would my friends fetch me water?
Yes.
100%.
Correct.
So are you special? Not really.
Okay, next one. He picked me up for our first date and paid the bill.
I think the paying the bill is okay, but the picking you up, that's sweet. I mean, a lot of people
Yeah, the
just
paying
meet
the bill
at the
is not-
restaurant and then,
yeah.
you know,
Not much to shout about the
Okay,
paying the
yeah.
bill, right?
Is there a difference between bare minimum, that's nice, and that's sweet?
like one tier above the other.
I think that's nice is in between.
Okay, let's flip it around. If we did, what's something that a girl could do that is the bare minimum for a guy?
Let him game in peace.
Understand when he needs his bro time.
That's the bare minimum.
Very simple,
That's
right?
quite tough.
Maybe exactly what I was talking about.
That's the
See?
bare minimum. If I did that, I think that's sweet. That's really fucking sweet.
Like you want a medal?
Yeah, I want to go medal. How about like okay, if your boyfriend is tired, right, or has a headache, you just like press his head a little, massage his head a little
Yeah.
bit. That's the bare minimum, right?
That's like water.
So would you want them to say like, oh, that's really sweet of you, or would you want them to be
Yeah.
like, no, this is expected of you? What?
No,
you are my
of course you
girlfriend.
want compliments, right?
Yeah, so there's
I'll
nothing
do
that is
anything I
bare
want
minimum,
compliments.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just say it. Just what you want to say.
I don't like the word expectations, but I think when you start expecting things, that's where a lot of people get unhappy with each other because you have expectations of your partner. Let's say this person has always been doing something for you for a really long time, or you think it's a bare minimum and thus you expect it. But there's a line to the expectation, I feel.
It's being very careful to not take
It for granted.
for granted, even if it is simple, even if it's the bare minimum.
Correct.
Not to take it for
Be
granted.
grateful.
If you do it,
Yeah.
I say thank you. If you don't, okay, there's no problem. We've got one here.
Okay.
This person says, my current boyfriend and I have been dating for over 8 months.
Okay.
And every time we have sex, he makes sure he takes his time, puts in the effort to give me a good foreplay while treating me with the attention and care I need.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't just get down to business like some guys. And he always makes sure I'm in the mood, aka consent. Is that bare minimum?
Well, what is the point of this? They're just trying to tell us that they're very healthy sex life. I mean,
No, I think she's trying to say that she's been with trash men who are there just
Just
to,
getting down to business right away.
which
not
is just
taking-
pleasure for themselves
Okay.
and not thinking of
okay.
you.
Not taking into account how the lady feels.
Oh.
Well, that's sweet, but I feel like in every healthy relationship,
Bare minimum.
yeah, agree.
Because
That's
it's
the bare
about thinking
minimum,
of
right?
you.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, thank you so much. I'd be like, yeah, like, duh, you do me, I do you, right?
Correct.
Okay, so clearly it doesn't apply to everything.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that we then kind of like idealize this bare minimum too much?
If I were to be very honest, I think a little bit because we don't see this happening very often anymore in this day and age, right? I mean, do you still see guys opening car doors for girls?
My brother does it.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah, but my own boyfriend doesn't.
So you see,
But I don't even ask because I feel like I'm a woman. I'm an independent woman.
No, I understand.
I want to open it
understand.
myself.
this guy I date opens the car door for me every time, and every time I still
Aw.
feel like, oh,
Did you
it's
ask
so
him to
sweet.
do that
No,
ever? So he just did it.
No, yeah. But sometimes if he forgets, then I just stand there.
See,
then-
expectation.
correct. And then he'll be like, oh, and then he'll run over. And then, okay, my princess, please get it.
Should I do that? Is that the way? I'll just sit
Just
there.
stand there.
I just stand there, right?
Uh,
Until he gets it. Then he doesn't, then he drives off. He's like, wish.
Then you'll be really angry.
Oh, I'll be really angry. Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I say I don't consider these things the bare minimum because not a lot of people do it. Yeah, like they do in like movies and K dramas and all that lah. But in real life, I don't think so. Not really.
So are you saying that there are things that you didn't have to, but you did to show care?
Yes, to show that I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking of you.
I think it's a very fine line between, hey, this is respectful to do, right? As someone who's in a situationship or relationship with you, or this is something that is of a higher effort. It's a very fine line to decide between left and right. But at the end of the day, I think you will know when it's really like nothing to be celebrated.
Correct. I think I want to push it a step further and say that if you're truly happy with a true connection, such that you didn't have to quantify it down to things, I don't think you would be thinking about every action and thinking, should this person be doing this?
It's so
Why does-
transactional,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I also think that if you're thinking, hey, is my relationship bare minimum? It probably is, and you probably need to reconsider.
Correct. Because
already.
if not, you wouldn't even think it.
you wouldn't
know?
even get to that stage. And there's a lot of reasons why I guess people would stay in a bare minimum relationship where, like we described the relationship, right? You go home, you don't talk at all. You never go on dates. You never spend time with each other. You never connect.
They don't take your feelings into consideration.
Yeah, your feelings are not valid.
Yeah, we're not saying you have to walk out of that relationship, but maybe try introducing things into your relationship that will change the dynamics.
Yeah, like foreplay, which apparently worked for
Apparently works for our
for
friend
that
here.
person on Reddit. Some reasons why I guess people might choose to stay in a bare minimum relationship where even though it's not being reciprocated, the love, it could be because of trauma from previous relationship where you feel you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of better, you're not worthy of more effort. And that comes from a low self-esteem. Yeah.
And childhood, I think is a huge reason as well.
Child traumas?
Yeah, if you grew up in an unhealthy, environment, maybe in your future relationships, you wouldn't dare to settle for something more above that,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
You know, it's like when we were trying to find ourselves, and I think when we had to realize that healthy was unfamiliar to us because we were so used to unhealthy. And I think sometimes people idolize healthy. They think they want healthy, but sometimes they can't deal with it when it comes because they look for what's familiar.
Exactly. Brings me to my next point. A lot of people are in hopes that their partner would change. So you keep hoping that the change will come. He will become a better man. And then you keep staying in that relationship. And one day if you realize that, hey, things are not moving forward, then how?
Basically, you fall in love with the person that they could be, but they're not there yet. And then they never try to make an effort to get there. But you think, they're going to be this good. They're going to be so good. They're going to be, such a loving partner, but they never get there.
That's why I always say, like, you cannot fall in love with potential. Yeah. Because first of all, it's not your job to change that person. So do you really like what you're seeing now?
No, absolutely. And I think being in a bare minimum relationship, it could have quite significant effects on you in the future as well. Every relationship to me is a two-way street, right? Both people need to put in the effort. It's not always going to be 50-50, and we've talked about this, and that's fine. But it can't always be one person putting in the effort. It's a lot of burnout for you. Emotionally, physically, mentally, it's very exhausting.
And decreasing self-worth. I do see that in one of my girlfriends. She's in a bare minimum relationship, and just many years down the road, she feels like, she doesn't deserve something better. To which I really tried to snap some sense into her to tell her that you deserve better. Ultimately, she walked out of that relationship and she found someone better.
Oh.
I'm so happy for her.
But it's scary to do that, right? When you don't think you deserve better.
Correct. And she doesn't realize she was in a relationship that was not even the bare minimum. It was just lower than that, you know?
You know, it's like that book and movie, A Fault in Our Stars. I read it a very, very long time ago. I was very young, and there was this very famous line which says that we accept the love that we think we deserve.
Correct.
And for a very long time, I didn't understand what that meant. But I got older and I was like, it's true. It's true. And someone was saying the other day that your choice of partner is a reflection of how much you love yourself.
That's very true. I love that.
I also find that some people, they have difficulty leaving their relationship. Even if they find that, hey, maybe this partner is not the one for me. I have had a girlfriend tell me, oh, I've been with this guy for 5 years. It's been so long. It'd be such a waste to let it go.
That's literally
And I'm
what
like,
happened to me.
Oh,
Like there was nothing bad, but it was just like, you know,
so
it's
long
been so
already.
long. Like,
Yeah.
but there's really nothing left there.
But you have even longer time ahead of you.
That's true.
Yeah, if
That's
not
true.
now, when?
Yeah. I think never in the history of the world has anyone regretted leaving a relationship that they should have left much earlier.
Yep.
So I hope that gives you some, you know,
Courage.
strength and courage to leave a situation that it's not deserving of you.
You know, you stay for various reasons, right? And I think a lot of people are not at peak satisfaction or peak happiness, but they stay because it's been this amount of years.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 32 now. We've been together for 8 years. If I leave this relationship, do I know I'm going to find something better? What if I don't? What if I'm just alone, you know, after that? But something I always say is, if it's bare minimum and you're staying, can you live like that for the rest of your life? And maybe your answer would be yes, because keep it peaceful.
You're used to it.
You're used to it. Everything's comfortable. But my next question is, should you live like this for the rest of your life? Like, why should you actually?
So we've been talking a lot about the bare minimum. Let's talk about what are some things you should expect in every relationship.
Ooh.
The good things. Expect, yes.
Loyalty.
Ambition, driven, loyalty,
Respect.
I think in a relationship, the both of you should be growing together. And when you come to a space where like, I'm growing, but he refuses to grow, or, you know, something like that, then I think you kind of realize that there is a bit of a
Disparity.
misalignment. Yeah.
I think action matching up to your words.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't-
people
don't-
can say anything,
Correct,
right? They can say like, oh, you know, I'll treat you the best. I'll never make you cry. But that's a lie, by the way. I've had guys tell me, I'll never make you cry like the other guy. Bullshit. Every guy makes you cry, okay? That's a lie. Don't believe.
It's what they do when you cry.
Correct. But it's unrealistic to think that you'll never cry in a relationship or a guy will never make you cry, okay? It's,
Korean drama cry how much? You
yeah,
not.
yeah, it's true.
And I think it's all in the little things. If this person really cares for you, he or she will not keep you waiting for long. Like you won't ever have to wait 12, 14 hours for their reply. They
True.
are always catering time to attend to you, be it in real life or over text.
Yeah.
I think you never have to question your position in their life.
Yes. They are very sure of you and you're very certain of them. I think it's a two-way street.
I love that very much.
Oh.
And I think what's the most important thing, if your other partner respects your boundaries, I think that's a huge green flag. Boundaries as in work-life boundary, your boundaries between you and your friends, you and the things that matter to you. I think all of this must be considered and taken into account.
Yeah. I mean, I think all of us after today's episode are going to go back and, kind of like take stock of our relationships, and we hope that you do as well. Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you realize that, hey, is my relationship like the bare minimum? Once again, we're not saying that leaving or quitting this relationship is the only
answer.
way to go.
Yeah.
You can start by introducing things into your relationship that will improve it. But of course, then it takes two hands to clap. Both you and your partner has to agree to it.
Yeah. You have to communicate, maybe get some third party help. There's no shame in that. And you could very much revive your relationship, but only if both hands are willing to clap.
Yeah.
Correct. Because I always say that I think in a relationship, no matter how long it's been, you have to never stop chasing your other half.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people get so comfortable, they start taking things for granted. But here's the thing, right? As much as you've pledged loyalty to each other, there is nothing that is holding the other person back from leaving anytime. So what makes you think that they can't leave? And if you keep that in mind, then you would put in effort to chase them just so you can keep them every day, no?
And then these are little sweet gestures that I believe are past the bare minimum. It's things that you do to retain each other in your lives, Okay, if you have any stories or if you want to share your thoughts with us, we'll be more than happy to hear. You can DM us or drop us a comment on Instagram at isclarity.co.
And that's right. You can listen to us on Listen, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, turn on your notifications. Actually, I also want to know, like, can you please comment and tell us, like, he did this. Is this bare minimum?
Oh, yeah.
Tell us.
We'll go in the comments and
Yeah, we'll rate it.
Yeah, we'll check it out. And of course, check us out on YouTube as well. We have a brand new set. It's very beautiful. So big shout out to our team as well for making this gorgeous, gorgeous set. And we'll catch you next time on Hush Podcast. Bye.
See ya!
When we were trying to find ourselves in... Why are you looking at me at that?
Huh?
Like-
No, my eyes are just...
I'm so sorry. Are you okay, my
poor
love?
thing.
It's okay.
okay.
Cough.
So we rolling Oh my god, so the whole time we just been talking shit. Okay, ready girls? You open up your dogs already?
Yes.
Okay, in 3, 2,